rolling.
Welcome back, everybody.
What episode is this, man?
99.
99.
We got a cool guest for 100.
Warren Sapp.
Party.
Warren Sapp. What up, 99?
Is it? Oh,
You
is
don't
that
know Warren Sapp? From the Buccaneers?
I don't watch
99.
any other sports other than jiu-jitsu.
What up, 99?
How about Get Smart?
And
Get Smart.
Get
Hello,
Smart.
99.
That's right.
Episode 99.
Party like it's episode 99. Never mind.
I got it, Prince. I got it.
We've had a discussion about the talking over each other.
What?
Obviously, it didn't take for some people.
I don't know what you're talking
Let's try
about.
again. This is episode 99 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Podcast. We might have to take away his mic. I encouraged him to mic himself. We might have to take it away.
They took out my teeth.
Brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on and offline. So web design, Google Ads, graphic design, printing, we can help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, which is bbdigitalmarketing.com. Go to the website and request a free review of your online presence today. My name is Milton Campus. I am a brown belt training out of South Florida. We got Bo behind the camera.
Hola.
Miguel riding shotgun. Shout out to our booking manager, Britt.
What up?
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and click the subscribe button. We'd really love to. Would really appreciate the support.
It helps us.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's the reminder.
Joining us today is Gannon Lang. Very cool. Excited to have him on.
Yep.
A few quick shout outs. Thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll. Actually, Bo, can we, I should have set this up before. We keep on talking about Flow and Roll. We just talked about the rash guard. Can we?
The Hashi.
Yeah, let's.
Can we?
Fro and roll.
My Japanese friend,
Flo
can
and
we?
roll.
My Japanese friend, can we?
Can we?
Can we?
Can we meet?
Easy,
Can
guys.
we?
So here it is.
Bam.
Right here.
Oh, snap.
You got that up on the screen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
flowandroll.com. This is our, it's actually real.
It
This
happened.
is our Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu rash guard.
That's
Got our
slick.
logo on the back.
That's slick.
All right.
Very nice.
Look at that.
And then
Wow.
can we zoom in a little bit? Right. So we
Dude.
got, right, in just the heart here, it's Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu, right? We got the shaka, right? We got the peace symbol in the heart.
Uh-huh.
We got the shark, right?
There's
We
the
talk about the
udon.
shark and
The
jiu-jitsu.
udon.
So peace, the heart is love. And, we got
Well, it's got a little
shark
bit. It's
and-
got a little
and
bit.
the
It's got a
shark-
little
the
bit to
shark
do
and
with you
shaka.
too. The anatomical
and
heart.
The heart
bit of
was
Milton.
the heart that we used was trying to use a
Anatomical.
real heart because I had a heart attack.
Yeah.
So
Everybody-
that has a little extra special meaning for me. If no one bought a rash guard, this is going to go down as my favorite rash guard. It's something that I love, and again, it's definitely has a special meaning to me. I also, part of my jiu-jitsu tattoo, right? I have the EKG from the day of my heart attack.
Yeah.
It's actually like a copy. I had the full EKG.
That,
and I
looks
had-
pretty okay. Not really.
What's that?
That second one's a little bit lower
This
than the
is
first one.
this little part here is where they said this little dip indicated that there was a problem.
Yeah.
So this line, it should be even with these lines.
I should show that to my brother-in-law. He teaches
So-
and he like at that.
Wait,
school.
let's show the shorts to a Bo. Check
Yep.
out, right? So
Bam.
right, I didn't want to write Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu. I know Sean and I talked about it a little bit. But when he showed me the shorts and then we wrote Peace Love and Jiu-Jitsu on the shorts,
It makes sense on the
I
shorts.
liked it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like it was really cool.
It's a good balance visually.
Yeah, I think it really works.
Yep.
It's we don't have the big peace sign on this one, but
Yeah.
we have the words.
I love my
So-
flow and roll shorts, by the way.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a good size charts on both of these, on both of the products.
Mhm.
Again, this is a pre-order. Please support not only us but Flow and Roll.
The code
and
works
then,
here too, right, JJD?
No, I think we disabled the code for this on a pre-order. We would typically disable a code, or he would typically disable.
Oh, really?
We talked about it, so you can't use the code on this one. But we know that people are supporting us because it's a pre-order and they're hearing about it here. So go check it out, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. People who've ordered already, thank you so much. Again, thank you to Sean over at Flow and Roll for being so patient as we went through the design. Go check them out. They're hands down the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Check out their Instagram. Check out all the companies they're working with around the country. They just did actually, I think that this other one's a pre-order too.
The Caribbean rollers. Yeah.
This is super badass. I mean, you could just go look at his stuff. His stuff is amazing. And let me just tell you something.
Fits great.
You know, right? Like doesn't
no fuzzies.
No fuzzies, doesn't ball up.
The grip on the
color,
bottom of it.
Yeah, the grip here and on the arms.
And it's comfortable too. It's almost like it's 2 layers, isn't it? Like it feels like there's like an inner layer and then like an outer.
Got 2 layers. No, I don't. I don't know.
I
know what you mean, but
feels
I don't
different. It feels different on the inside than it does on the outside. To me.
Yeah, you know the traditional rash guards. A lot of companies are just using the same kind of rash guard material that. It is the same rash guard that surfers wear. Mm-hmm. So like this is martial arts community, right? This is the companies that he worked with. It's just at a different level. The favorite shorts, hands down. It's got the little.
I like it.
The little.
The Velcro.
The Velcro in the front. I have like all my other shorts. Like it wears away and the Velcro's not there, and then I can't get it to lock up again. Mm-hmm. No pockets on these. Awesome. My favorite rash guard set. If you go to our Instagram, you'll see me in like other versions of both of us in other versions.
I got the red and black
his rash guard. But go out and support. If you order anything from the website, again, other than this pre-order, use code JJD. JJD at checkout. Okay. Again, it's flowandroll.com and like flow, the letter N roll. Instagram is flow_N_roll. Okay, so go check them out. Also, check out our friends over at the BJJ Box. And first of all, thank you to Tony for all of his support. Hopefully, we'll have a new box soon. We did an unboxing an episode or 2 ago, so we'll probably do pretty soon. You get basically, 4 to 7 items delivered, right? A subscription.
Usually more.
So you're getting 4 to 7 items in your subscription box. Is different, variations of boxes that you can get. There's the VIP box, which is the one that we get. So use coupon code JJD10 and you get $10 off of your first box. All right. And again, hopefully we'll have another one coming in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll do at least one more that will air before Christmas, hopefully even, maybe between Christmas and Thanksgiving. Okay. Thank you to Neutral Zone Clean. I bought the canister. That's from my car. Yeah. Because we ran out of, I pulled the one that we had. That was the prop for the set. Check them out at neutralzoneclean.com and on Instagram at neutralzoneclean, Facebook as well. This is separate from Neutral Zone CBD. This does not have CBD in it. This is Neutral Zone Clean. These are hygiene products. This is all about being, clean on the mats and training. Like I said, I carry one in the car when I get gas. I stopped and got coffee and spilled in the car. I use it to clean up a little bit. Yeah, it's amazing. I love the smell. I can't say enough good things about Mike and Candy.
I see the soap.
Yeah, they did a shower gel.
I'm excited about
soap.
The shower gel.
I've had the soaps. I haven't used a shower gel yet, but they always send me something and ask for my opinion, and I think it's great. He was also. Did you see the post, the designing of the box?
Mm-hmm. What did you pick?
I picked the brown only so that because the logo stood out. I kind of felt more like, and maybe it's I don't know if somebody might look at it as a bad thing, but I liked it because it felt like.
Earthy.
Other ones, yeah, and like that I've seen before, right? When you're thinking about those soaps, it's different than buying like a normal soap, in a 6-pack, right? I felt like it kind of reminded me of seeing those in the store. They come in the brown box, and I think it is like earthy and minimalist. And
that's why
things like that.
I picked top.
Yeah,
and you can go
check them out at again neutralzoneclean.com. Use code JJD for 15% off your order. All right. We should mention also, Bo, you got a picture. This is on. This can be seen. The bucket, right? This bucket holds 1,200 wipes. You can actually get $10.99 off of this bucket with code JJD Gift. Mm-hmm. All right. Again, there's 1,200 wipes in this big bad boy. If you think they're going to be, I don't even think you might not need it, but that refill. Oh, you got this one too?
Yep.
Right, the refill, you can keep them wet. You can use that refill for the bottle. You can use it for anything that you see here. You can get them wetter. You can add them to the spray. It works either way. And again, you're supporting like a combat-owned company, a combat family who trains, right?
Their kids train.
Their son trains. Dad trains.
Mom.
And mom doesn't train. Mom doesn't train.
My bad, Candy. Get on the mats.
Come on, man. You gotta
get on the mats.
But yeah, Can't say enough good things about them. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more stuff with them pretty soon. Let's talk about the CBD as well. Again, these are two completely different products. The wipes do not have, none of the wipe hygiene products have CBD in them, but we do also shout out NutriZone CBD.
Yep.
No matter if your aches and pains are coming from lifting weights at the gym or rolling on the mats, or even just, I like to say, the daily grind of life, sitting at the computer all day. I'm taking that one with me today. I need it. I got to take it with me.
Somebody did a dick move on me, and it's been saving my neck.
Oh.
No, I'm
is
just
that
saying
that one full? Okay.
No, it is. I'm saying I use it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm feeling actually way better from using it consistently.
And I'm an idiot. I've had the headache. You guys know that I've had a headache since I've gotten here. I should have used it. I completely forgot that it was there. I know I didn't bring the one that's usually in my bag, which is almost empty.
Your wet neck.
So again, you thought I was sweating the other day.
Why are you sweating?
So check them out at neutralzonecbd.com. And once again, use code JJD, but this time you're going to get 25% off your order.
That's right.
All right, guys. Those are all the shout outs. You guys ready to do this?
Let's bring the guest on.
Ready, Bill? Let's get Gannon in here. Let's do this. Welcome, Gannon. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good.
2 hours of driving to get here.
We come from far away to do it. We come from a land far, far away.
Yeah. It's actually like the way the crow flies. It's not very far at all. I drove less than 60 miles, and it took me 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I was averaging 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got I-95. But where are you coming down the turnpike though?
I couldn't even get on the turnpike, and I work right off of the turnpike. I had to cut way east. I sound like a person from California now. You remember the old SNL skit? So you got to get off on the Brea. And then
I come from about an hour away. He lives closer to the podcast, but he works even further north than me.
I work way north.
We're shooting in Miami, so we're coming from. It's all worth it.
Where are you at right now?
So I'm in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Like you said, I deal with I-95 just about every day, and it is it's rough.
It's like congested there. Like that's where it starts to get congested with DC and stuff.
Was I near you? I was just
So I used to train in DC, so I'm like an hour and a half south of DC, an hour north of Richmond, and I mean going towards Richmond is fine, but going towards DC is ridiculous.
I was just in Summerfield, I think.
Summerfield.
I don't know.
Where is that near?
I was right next to like the Pentagon, essentially.
Oh, okay.
I went to King Street.
What's it? He went to Silverback. You know Silverback?
Yeah. I've trained at Silverback.
I trained there. I trained there last weekend with Professor Sean and Matt from Epic Roll. They invited me.
We had Matt on the show. So that's that connection.
Yeah.
And then I actually just completely coincidentally, and I've been talking to him lately, he's looking for some marketing help. There was a young kid named Andrew Stewart. Do you know that?
I know Andrew.
You know Andrew?
Yeah, I know Andrew.
Andrew was a blue belt when I was a white belt. We trained at the same school. He would come down to Florida in the summers. I think it was like for the 2 seasons that my coach had his gym at the time. Andrew used to come down. He would handle the kids' classes and really handle the adults. He was a blue belt. I was a white belt. So I basically trained under him. I remember, did he get his purple belt? I forget.
Purple belt.
My coach gave him a belt. I don't know if he left with a purple belt the second year. But yeah, anyway, I trained with Andrew down here. He owns his own gym up that way now.
Yeah. Man, small world. I think Andrew's gym is like 15 minutes away from me. I've trained with him a bunch since I've been back in Virginia. He's an awesome guy.
How's his jiu-jitsu? Is it as scary as it was back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, and he's a huge dude too. So he's like, I mean, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I know that he's gotten bigger and he's really super into fitness, and he does I think not only jiu-jitsu, but he helps people with fitness and weightlifting, right? So he was smaller than me back then. I'm 240. I mean, like I'm 240, but a lot of that's here. A lot of that's in the middle. But I mean, he was he wasn't like the biggest kid. Again, this is we're talking 9 years ago. So that's that. Yeah. So he just, again, he was here with his blue belt. But anyway, we've been talking. He reached out to me to help him with some marketing. I own a marketing company, so he reached out to get some help with his marketing. And so it was like we just got to reminisce, and it's just all coincidental that he just went to Silverback, and Andrew's calling, and now look, you train with him. That's crazy.
Small world, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got to get your address of your gym because I got a fat ex-Army friend that lives very close to you, and he's
awesome.
doing, yeah.
What is your gym situation? Did you just open your gym, or are you about to open a gym, your own?
So we are quite literally about to sign within the next week. I think my gym will probably be just a little bit south of Andrew's gym, so maybe like 20-ish minutes away.
Okay.
For people who know Virginia, it's near Cosner's Corner. It's right next to probably the bigger like gym in the area. So it's going to be happening in the next couple of months here. It's going to be called Nexus American Jiu-Jitsu. And it's become quite the pain in the backside, but
it's good. It's working. How's it feel?
Coming together.
Own your own business. You want to own your own gym, huh?
How's it feel?
Oh yeah.
Is this like
that's
a candy store type of situation
for sure. Yeah. I mean, especially like working at so many other, like I've been to like 4 or 5 different gyms, like before I ended up at Legion, and just about all of them I worked in some capacity. So now like doing the work for myself is like very rewarding.
Yeah. If you need any tips on the local marketing stuff, we do it, we sell it, but I also love just kind of telling people what they need to do. Like, just give you the advice. I do a nice little video, tell you what you need to do, especially when you're getting started. Because, I mean, as popular as you are and you're becoming, and it's great to see a new gym in the area, it's not building and they will come. Like, you got to tell the internet, like, where you are. Sure. The people that don't know you are the people that you want to find you as well, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah,
Don't worry about it. I know a guy.
Dude, I talk to it. I have no marketing. I don't. Like, I work for a well-drilling company.
I talk about it all day long.
So, like, I feel like I have, like, a bachelor's now in whatever language
just being around me.
It makes no sense.
Like I said, I'm always happy to do it. I just sent Andrew like a 20-minute video. I was like, look, this is what you checked out all his stuff and said, this is what you need to do. I can help you, but at least do these things. And cool. We're talking about hopefully working together. Hopefully I help him out a little bit. So
just go to bbdigitalmarketing.com
we'll do that
and fill out. They'll take a whole look at your website.
That is not like the reason that we're doing the podcast. It's just oh, by the way, I named it Black Belt Digital Marketing, but I had never intended to, like, I've always worked with all different types of companies, and honestly, like, gyms are notorious for not having the money to spend on marketing. So it was never my target market. It was just, I would say, like, I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and I'm a black belt in marketing. Is the way that I like to say it. So it's just been this crossover because of the podcast. Sponsors have become clients and clients have become sponsors, which was like, holy shit, this is great. It was never the intention. It's happened, and thank God.
So I was talking to this.
But by the way, after quitting my job of 6 years working for another company, I said, screw this. I'm going to do the podcast full time. I opened up the marketing company to help pay the bills, and then that took off even more than the podcast. So that's kind of the story behind it.
That's the dream right there, right?
I thought we were going to make the podcast like the 9 to 5, but it was just like, it's still doing good.
It's the 9 to 5.
But it doesn't pay all of the bills.
Gotcha.
But I was just going to say, like, that's so funny about the jiu-jitsu community. I was talking about this with a buddy from my gym. And it was just like, you really don't know what anybody does. Like, when you open your gym, you're going to have all these people in your gym. I know you are, because you're an excellent black belt, and I've heard you're a great teacher. And
thank you.
And but like, you're going to have these people, and like, let's say your AC goes out in your gym, right? You're not going to know it, but there's going to be a guy there that owns an AC company. You know?
Yeah.
And that's like the coolest thing about, I think, jiu-jitsu. It's just because, like, nobody wants to tell you what they do until it's like,
I mean, it just doesn't come up. I don't think it's like they don't want to, but
yeah, but it, like, nobody.
You're not talking about that when
you're
you get
there for the jiu-jitsu experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably know more about, like, the guy that you're rolling with. You're like, hey, you got to watch out for his. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh shit, he's an accountant. An accountant keeps on doing that to me.
And he's like a badass.
Yeah. You don't even know what he does. You're just like, that dude's got a killer loop choke.
I love when I show up. I mean, I don't love this, but I mean, just it's funny that sometimes I show up at the gym and, like, the AC goes.
Yeah.
And you see somebody, like, you know, up in the ceiling, and you're like, who the hell's up in the ceiling? And then it's some guy, like, how do you know about it? Yeah, I own an AC company.
Yeah.
I'm in construction.
Well, I know
like,
that specifically.
I didn't know about you. The other day, Ray was up there, and I'm like, you know, he knows what he's doing. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Ray owns like 10,000
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, he's like the Jeff Bezos of Davie. Or Parkland, whatever. Yeah.
So how does it? So I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you said the name of your gym is going to be Nexus American Jiu-Jitsu. I have absolutely no. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I have no problem with calling it whatever, as long as the words jiu-jitsu are in there. But talk to me about that. Like out here in the jiu-jitsu community, it is a thing. Brazilian, American. I just call it jiu-jitsu, right? Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I've heard you talk about it. I'd like to get into it a little bit, if you don't mind.
100%. So, I mean, this is kind of something that Keenan has also talked about quite a bit. We had a lot of like just talks throughout my time there about branding yourself and branding my gym in the future. And I want to, because like I did want to originally do Legion East Coast, but it's just like with all of the stuff that they have going on there, it's very difficult for them to kind of like stay in contact with me when we're across the country from each other. So tying that back into the question, I wanted to make it American Jiu-Jitsu because I still want people to kind of understand my roots and like where I came from, where I got my black belt and all of that kind of stuff. For me, American Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I just call it Jiu-Jitsu personally, but I use that American Jiu-Jitsu as kind of a marketing ploy, so to speak. So like if you look at my Instagram, it says AJJ Black Belt, all of that kind of stuff. I don't call it American Jiu-Jitsu. It's literally just to get someone to just like that slight
that?
interest.
American Jiu-Jitsu?
Like,
Okay.
And that's kind of like my icebreaker, especially with the lay people. So people that have never trained jiu-jitsu a day in their life, especially when they're American, they hear American Jiu-Jitsu and it just kind of like piques their interest a little bit more than saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or just Jiu-Jitsu.
I didn't know if it was like when I dig my chin into somebody's ribs, like it's that little thing just to needle the whole jiu-jitsu community. Because you know, like if I'm holding somebody down and get my chin in there, you know, get him to go that, or you know, you're doing the Kimura and you put the little elbow.
My dad didn't. Hug
I didn't
me
know
enough.
if it was that, you know, kind of a little, you know, to the community, or if it was. You don't seem like you're that kind of person, but I'm just putting it out.
No,
there.
you were very transparent about it. Yeah.
Truth be told, it is like. So over the last couple of like, I would say, so 6 months ago, I probably had like 3,000 or 4,000 followers, and now I'm sitting around like 32,000 or something like that. So over the last like 6 months, I've come into a completely different like amount of exposure and people like DMing me and all of these things, and just like the comments in general. Like I was very surprised at how. At first they were very negative and now they've become more positive. But in the beginning, especially when I got my black belt, I was like, look, I don't have to really like answer these negative comments. And now it is a little bit of a jab. It is a little bit of a jab to like certain people in the community that have like said some things.
Yeah.
But
when you say people are in the comments, is it, you know, these people that we would know names of? Like, are you like, is it the average Joe and then somebody more famous or more famous black belts and stuff?
Most of the people that are nice to me are those famous black belts and like people who know what they're talking about. But the people who are more critical are the people that, you know, they have like 4 followers and they have no pictures of themselves online and they're like a black belt in something. Yeah, exactly. Like they're a black belt in like Taekwondo or something, but they've trained like 3 days of jiu-jitsu.
They're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but it's spelled J-U-I-jitsu.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So now we all know what a Brazilian tap is. We got to develop what the American tap is.
Oh yeah.
You know, like maybe like when they're super close to you, go like, "Oh no, you good, bro, you got it." And then, but like the ref doesn't hear it. Yeah. But like instead of it being at the soft tap, you're like, "Oh, you good, you good."
Or you're in competition and you're guiding the guy.
You're like, "Oh, you got it.
You're helping him finish and he lets it go. Cards on the table. We really don't give a shit either way. Like we're on the side, just going like, "Yeah, really, this is an argument." It's almost like the whole belt washing thing. Like, really, is this an argument? Like, you should probably wash your belt. We'll get to that later. Don't answer that question now. Yeah. But like, it's like little things like that kind of seem obvious for people. Like, really? Does that, you know, does that one word, that country modifier, if you want to call it that, right? Does that really make a huge difference? It's like I can go to your gym, I'm sure, and go to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym or come back to my gym. And yes, I might be learning different versions of the jiu-jitsu, but it's all the same. I think the community is the same. It's the same people. Yeah. And I don't think most people care. I wonder, though, in the beginning, now, I don't know if it was really Keenan the first one that really that did that, because I remember Jake Shields when he was fighting. I don't know how far back that goes. Jake Shields, when he was in when in the UFC, I always remember that when they showed his information, they were they're introducing him, and his information on the bottom would say, like, they always say your kind of your your specialty,
your style,
right? Like your Taekwondo black belt, right? So it would say American Jiu-Jitsu, right? Like even what is that,
John Jones?
John Jones. It says something like
street.
No.
Like,
it's like jiu-jitsu, like it's like a copy of the jiu-jitsu. Like he's saying he's like copying you, something along those lines. But it's always like you could put something stupid. Whatever you put, they're gonna say. Yeah. And I remember Jake Shields, and I remember the clothing and everything saying American Jiu-Jitsu. But I wasn't training back then, so I didn't really know. But it always stood out to me. And then when I started doing jiu-jitsu and really the podcast, then it was just like, oh, okay, it goes back that far.
It does.
And it was a thing that far. But go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Jake Shields was like the OG that kind of started that entire movement. Yeah. We actually did a funny skit. I don't know if you guys saw it, but on Legion's Instagram, Miha had the idea to make, how in a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu gyms they put up like Elio Gracie and they like bow to it and stuff. We did a skit where we were bowing to Jake Shields, like a picture of him.
So he is the first.
Yeah. So we definitely pay homage to him, especially in Legion. Yeah. I think he was definitely the OG, and now there's like Pedigo and
I was
Keenan
gonna say that.
and,
yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that kind of coin it now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I personally don't look at it as like some type of a movement. For me, it's more of a marketing thing.
Yeah.
I have no like bad blood between
I wish I should. I feel like I should. I want to give her a proper shout out. I've talked about this now twice. I'm gonna maybe try to find it. There's a girl that's, I think she's maybe she's a blue or purple belt. She's got a really good jiu-jitsu following. She's a content creator, and she did a video where she had a sound and it was like people like yelling and cursing and everything, and they're just people laying back. Like, she's the person in each one, but it's just like when people are having the argument about American and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there are the Australians, there are the Brits, and they're all just going like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But the American and Brazilians are like going at it like it's fucking like it's
that's
like
funny.
it's really a thing. But all the other countries just like, what
who
the
cares?
fuck is going on? It's a great video.
Too.
I got to give her credit for that. It's one of the more fun, especially from this side, and always talking about it. It was an amazing video, but I don't think
what it comes down to. Like, to me, it's just like I've had the pleasure of training at multiple gyms because I've moved, and also just because wherever I travel, I'd like to just go ahead and experience it. Dude, you go to any gym and you're just nice, and then you're cordial, and you get on the mat, you shake hands. They know you're not from there, which is also like another cool thing is like when you go to a gym and they know you're not from there, there's like this unspoken thing, like where the mom tells their kids, like, this guy's a guest. So they're whooping your ass gently, when you roll with their black belts and stuff like that. But it's just like, that's what it really comes down to is like, what's your jit show, And it's like, and then they're like, that was really cool. I feel like you get more feedback when you travel than you do at your own home gym.
100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to show a different style, right? I mean,
but like these are people you see every day at your gym, and they don't say shit to you, bro.
Yeah,
they don't. But you go somewhere else, and they're like, that was dope. And then they'll even go like, hey, man, that thing I got you in? This is how you get out of that.
See, but I think, I mean, I don't know if it happens to you, but I talk about that all the time, that I do that. At Brown, even at
glad
Purple,
you do that.
I tell people like, hey man, like I don't travel a lot, so I'm in my home gym, and I want them to know how to get out of the thing that I'm constantly tapping them with, because it's no fun, and it makes me figure out like the next move. What's my transition?
Right.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
Especially like I do a lot of like the lockdown stuff and half guard, so I'm always there. So it's just like I could do this all day and keep on catching you, or I could tell you how to get out of this, and then I tell them how to get out of it, and then I do the next thing, and they're like, dude, what, you set me up. No, you knew how to get out of that. Now we'll talk about how to get out of that one day, So
yeah.
I find that part fun.
Yeah.
You're a blue belt. I think you're going to be the person that probably does that to people, because I think you're like me, and you will, tell people, hey, that was really good, man. That was really, hey, fix it like
I'm
this.
just trying to get
that.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that going to be the culture at Nexus, you think, that you're going to try and being a Keenan black belt? Like, I mean, that guy's a traveler.
Yeah. I mean, like, one of the most beautiful things like about American Jiu-Jitsu is Keenan never once was like, you can't train here, you can't train there. Like, he was more among the idea of like, if you learn something cool somewhere else, bring it back. We would love to get better. You know, like, they're very open-minded there. And I think that's like, that was one of our other marketing ploys. It's like, here at Legion and at Nexus as well, like, you can train wherever you want. Like, we are all grown here. There's no like culty vibes and things of that nature. But kind of like piggybacking off of your guys' point before, like, some of the hardest roles that I have even to this day are some of my students, because I teach them all my stuff. So then they know exactly what to expect from me. So it's like I'm rolling against myself, and then they have their own little things that they do as well. So I completely agree with
popularity
what you guys
contest. They know you, but you don't know them. Even though they're your students, you have to get to know them. But there's tape on you, dude. You know,
right? I got to delete those.
Yeah. How did it? So what sparked this? You said from 3,000 followers or so to the low 30s. What happened? What did you start to change? And was that a conscious effort to start putting out move videos? I think you did some instructionals as well. Correct?
Yeah, I think it was right around the time when I went out. So how I ended up at Legion and in the Fighter House in general was they did the Lapel Day giveaway type thing, and I like applied, and a bunch of my like followers then were like spamming Keenan. Like, there's some video somewhere about how he was telling like a story about it to Flo, and a bunch of my followers DM'd him saying, you stole his move, blah 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 blah, when it's like, it's not exactly true, but they thought that. So
let me stop you. Yeah. And I'm sorry. Let's go back to, there's a lot there that I want to unpack.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. Neutral Zone is combat family owned, so they know you need to keep yourself and your equipment clean. They created Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays for just that purpose. Neutral Zone products are formulated to reduce the risk of bacterial and fungal infections. Whatever's making you sweat, weight training, rolling on the mats, yard work, or just working around the house, Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays can make you feel and smell refreshed. Use code JJD to get 15% off your online order at NeutralZoneClean.com. While you're there, sign up for their newsletter to receive the latest info and updates on product launches like their new shower gel and soap bar coming soon. Are you Neutral Zone Clean? Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
What is the Fighter House? Tell me, what is that? For those of us that don't know.
Yeah.
So Legion Fighter House was a house. I think a lot of people probably in the community still remember when he posted on Instagram he wants to put together a fighter house and bring out a bunch of people who want to do jiu-jitsu for a living, learn how to like run a gym properly, want to compete, want to
like an incubator, I think people would call that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Just like that. And so I was there with Juno, with Jacob, Andris, like a lot of really, really good jiu-jitsu people. I mean, a lot of people probably know Andris. I mean, he's won quite a bit, and he's still probably to this day one of the best people I've ever rolled with across the board. But it was just a house where a bunch of us, like, we all agreed that we wanted to do jiu-jitsu in some fashion, like for the rest of our lives, and we wanted to like make it our career. So I ended up there about, I think it was almost 2 years ago now. I was a brown belt at the time, and I just started pumping out content because something that Keenan always because we weren't just going over jiu-jitsu at Legion. One of the biggest things that I learned was like how to market myself properly and how to run a gym properly, because they do it different than anyone else I've ever seen there. I'm pretty sure they're up towards like 500 students at this point.
Really?
So they're finding like a lot of success.
that you would normally that you see in all the videos. It's pretty big, like.
Man, it is tremendous.
Space,
it's
right?
like it's like 10,000 square feet, something like that.
The only other school I've seen
like
with that much is like Brendan McCatherine's in 10th Planet in Decatur. Like you, like when you put the camera on, it's like it looks like it's one of those big steel like buildings that will probably blow away in a hurricane.
It's
like,
a hangar.
like a hangar, right? Yeah, it's just like it's just so humongous. There's a couple of them like that here in northern Florida, but yeah, I mean it looks humongous when you see it in videos.
Yeah, man, it was a very surreal experience being in a gym like that, because I started at a gym that was like 30 or 40 people like total,
which is still a lot.
Yeah,
that's like we wouldn't be able to fit everybody in.
You need like 2 brown belts and maybe 2 black belts. So I think to like accurately run a gym like that, just as a student's perspective, because especially when you teach something new and you're all there where you're like, I think, especially when they do the matchup like blue belt, white belt.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I just don't get it because it feels weird to me. And I'm like
30 people in my gym. We have like one of my school. I don't know the school that I go to. We probably have one of the bigger kids programs in the area. Yeah. And
they put people.
When people see our gym, people are like, wow, that gym is humongous. It's dwarfed by the ones that we're talking about.
Could you imagine it?
Like 30 people, it's like, oh, is there a promotion? 30 people are here? Is somebody getting promoted? Are they handing out stripes tonight? Like, and that's still a lot. I mean, it's not as big on my own gym. That's like wow, there were 30 people there last night. That's great.
Now imagine a 10x.
500?
10x from 30.
Some of the people, like some of those classes, especially the ones when Keenan would teach, would get upwards of like 70 people on the mat. Yeah. It was gross. Like, I mean, it was insane. I mean, they have like 6,000 square feet of mat, and it was like shoulder to shoulder sometimes.
It's amazing. That's a loud 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shake the building.
Is there and this happens to everybody, but what's your, when I own a gym, I'm gonna, like, what's
I want to, like, one of the bigger things for me is I want the feel and the brand of Nexus to be something that you can put on just about anything. So kind of similar to the style of like the hype beast culture, like Supreme and things like that, like these name brands. I want Nexus to be kind of like on that level where it's like people are proud to wear it, not just because it's a jiu-jitsu gym that they go to, but someone actually wants to wear the merch and things like that and like represent Nexus as a brand, not just a gym.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Wow, you're still young, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, when I
just
was
don't
25.
make a cheesy logo.
Yeah.
I will say, as a avid jiu-jitsu lover, I dislike a lot of logos.
Me too.
They're just so fucking cheesy, man. I just don't like the fucking shark and the gorilla and the fucking
as a graphic designer. As a graphic designer, I can agree with you,
bro. I love all that shit. In 8th grade, I was doodling it. Like I loved it.
Did you go to? I think I might have heard you talk about somewhere that you didn't go to college, you did jiu-jitsu, but then did you go back to school to learn about marketing, or were you saying before you went to Keenan's and that was like going to school for marketing? Which one was it?
So kind of a mixture. So I went and I got most of my gen eds done. I did like a year and a half or something like that. Ended up dropping out for jiu-jitsu, but then I did go back for marketing and for business. So I took 2 classes there, and then that was kind of just like my entrance into being interested in that world more than just competing. And then when I went to Keenan's, I mean, this last 2 years, it's like it was a internship there essentially, not just like training.
Yeah. What's that conversation with your parents like? Like, hey, your mom, dad, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to college. Like,
so. Yeah.
If that's even,
let's hear it.
Sounds like you have a good relationship with your parents, maybe.
For sure. Yeah. Fantastic relationship. It was just, that was probably one of the bigger stressors on our relationship. Because my brother's going to Virginia Tech for neuroscience, looking at like graduate programs and things like that. Now, my sister's going to JMU, was a straight A student all the way through high school and things like that. And I wanted to go choke people.
But can they whoop your ass?
Yeah, exactly. They're screwed in an alleyway, but they can.
Is Thanksgiving going to be rough?
No. Yeah, nowadays, like once I got invited out to Keenan's, they had a lot more faith in it. So yeah. Once they kind of saw what I was doing, as far as like I'm actually going to do this, it wasn't something that was just going to stick for a couple years and then it goes nowhere and I can't make any money from it. Once they saw that I was bringing in a little bit of money from it, they were like, okay, like do you.
You're a business owner now. You know what I'm saying? They got enough degrees to keep them warm at night, use them as blankets, but like you own a business, and that means you're going to hire people. And these people that you hire are going to depend on your business to feed their families or themselves.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
But what I'm saying is like you've become a provider because now you're providing to your employees and you're providing to a valuable skill and discipline to your students.
It's a badge of honor to do what you're doing. Forget about the jiu-jitsu part of it. Just owning a business is hard enough, and again, it's a badge of honor.
Money's pretty good, but what you're doing is legit.
That's cool.
Thank you guys. And that was actually kind of to answer your question before of like when I own an academy, this is what I want, like type thing. That's something that I really want because that's something that Keenan and Miha gave to us. Like they gave us a career in jiu-jitsu. They gave us like a crazy amount of opportunity and just like information so that we can use Legion as a launch pad to go and do our own thing. So that's like something that I'm very, very thankful for. And that I want to eventually give to other people as well.
So let's go back. I'm not sure if we skipped over anything. I know I interrupted you. I'm famous for that. I'm sorry. But go back to the Fighter House. I kind of interrupted you. Said explain the Fighter House, but you were telling us about the experience of going there.
Yeah. So it was a house with, I think at the peak of it, it was 8 or 9 of us. And like when I first got there, there were, like I said, I listed off a couple of the names before, but we would get up, go to the competition class at noon, and then we would go back around 6 for the second training of the day. A lot of times we would just stick around in between those trainings though to like work out in between, and that was like Monday through Friday, and we would take weekends off. But I didn't have a car out there, so it was kind of like we just hung out at the house at like on the weekends and things like that. But it was a really cool experience. Just being around that level of jiu-jitsu, like being around 8 people or like multiple people, but living with a bunch of people who all do jiu-jitsu is like a very different experience than what I had before, especially
Frat
like
house.
being someone who takes jiu-jitsu very seriously in a smaller town. Like meeting someone else who takes jiu-jitsu as like a career and not just a hobby was like very rare.
Yeah. So what was the competition? You kind of said there was a lapel. Keenan did some kind of competition, not just the house, but there was some like a call for.
Were there challenges or something?
Yeah. What was that you were saying?
So basically what happened was he put out a like lapel day challenge. So it was like whoever can show me the best lapel technique or something like that. There's like 3 prizes. One of them I think was like the lapel dictionary. One of them was like a discount code to it. And then one of them was a week being flown out to the fighter house, living in the fighter house for a week. And yeah, so I won the top prize. I still think that it was like I won the top prize because me and Keenan were already speaking before this. Yeah. So I got flown out there and I was out there for about a week. And I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd day. I honestly looked at it as a tryout because I already knew I wanted to move out there. So, I mean, they Shark Tanked me, like it was really, really cool to like feel that level of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And apparently I passed the test because it was like 3 or 4 days in. A couple of the people were like, yo, you got to move out here. Like it would be so cool to have you, all of this stuff. They were super welcoming. And so I think it was like, I just came back home after that week for like a couple months, got my stuff together and moved out there for like 2 years.
That's dope, man. How's Black Belt treating you?
Man, like it's surreal. Like it didn't really hit me until I came back here because especially out there, I mean, not everyone's a black belt, but it was like we would go through these trainings where just about every single person in the we called it the pro training. So it was like J Flow's class and it was like 10 of us. And I think out of the 10, probably 8 of us or 7 of us were black belts. So it was like, I was so used to being around black belt that it was like me being a brown belt was not embarrassing, but you know what I mean? It's like you want to be at that level. So when I got my black belt, it was like, okay, now I fit in, quote unquote. And then I came back here and I was like, oh man, there's like 1 black belt for every 20 people that you might see. And I just lost you guys on the video.
Okay.
That
might happen. That's why we got it.
We back?
Yeah, you should be back. Do you see us again?
Yep.
Good.
All
cool.
good.
Yeah, man. Was this the last episode where I was just?
Yeah,
it's just
no,
like,
we said it before. I think we said it before.
Oh no,
not
about that. But I was saying like the whole black belt thing is just like you just hear it over and over. It's like as soon as you get it, it's like it's starting over again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Do you feel like I've been talking about this? I just got a couple of stripes. Like my school didn't do stripes for a long time. We got a new coach. I think he convinced the owner to do stripes. So I was basically at a point where I would have gotten 3 stripes. I would be at 3 stripes. And I just...
Aren't you a 2-stripe?
No, it's 3.
You got 3?
Ray, I got... Ray got 2. I got 3.
That's a 3-stripe.
I was supposed to get my brown belt before COVID. I was the July after COVID started, but I blew out my knee. Then COVID. Didn't train for close to a year, maybe like 10 months. I went
Thanks,
back.
COVID.
So I was like, So it's just like, I would have had my brown belt back then if it wasn't for COVID and the injury. I blew out my knee like the day before we were going into quarantine in like that March. But totally forgot what I was going to say. I feel like, so I got these stripes, and I just feel I've always talked people off of the ledge of like the responsibility that goes along with it. Like, don't worry about it. Your coach knows what he's doing. You know, you're a blue belt. You're supposed to learn the blue belt. Like, you're not supposed to know everything at blue belt yet. You know, you're getting promoted, and now it's your blue belt journey. Now you're going to learn all the things that you need to do to complete this belt. That's the way that I look at it. And now I'm having those same things. I'm like, man, black belt's right around the corner. Shit, I better go more. Shit, I better get into the gym more. I better lift more weights. I got to get my cardio up. I need to lose weight. Like, I have this overwhelming sense of anxiety, but I mean, I can handle it. But I never felt that in any of the belts. And I'm always telling other people, like, you know, don't worry about it. But like, this is black belt. This is like a different world. You know, this is, you know, completely new. I'm older. I'm rolling with kids that came at it like 19-year-olds that came out of the kids program that were training with them before I got there, and now they're like, they're men. They have their man strength, and they're just like, it's fucking tough. I used to throw that kid around when he was little.
Right.
I think Alex specifically, man, he's like a triangle machine, and it's just like, yeah, man, I'll make my way around you, Alex. But I mean, I feel like this overwhelming sense of responsibility to now really, really more than any other belt. I want to get this black belt, and I want to have earned it. I really want to say like I earned this. And somebody made a comment to me about the stripes the other day, and I had to remind her. I'm like, just remember that I was supposed I would have had this 2 years ago. So, but somebody made a comment, and I was just like, I'm just telling you.
That's a dog shit comment.
Yeah. Somebody made a comment. Somebody who likes to make comments, and I was just like, just hold on one second. We were at the party, and I said, hey, Halloween party, and I was like, well, I said, I felt the same way. I go, I'm feeling the same way that you're saying. Oh, and then you get the whole, no, I'm just kidding. I'm like, no. I feel what you're saying, but just remember, I would have had it. Essentially, I'd be getting my black belt right around now.
It's not even up to you.
I had to stop.
So you've been like holding yourself to that standard for so long because,
Well, I kind of feel like I haven't been. I slacked. I slacked. I have two businesses. I have the podcast. I own a marketing company. Yeah. I'm going 2 or 3 days a week. I've been hurt. My back. I had a groin injury. It's not because I'm lazy about going to the gym. It's because life happened. Yeah. And, I was getting to the gym maybe like twice a week, but I would go essentially re-injure myself. I heard you talk about your rib. I did that. Oh, yeah. I re-injured myself, or I made it. I aggravated, especially my groin injury for 2 months, and then I said, I just can't go. I can't go because I'm just continuing to aggravate the same thing. So I was able to do weights and do other stuff, and I still consider I'm doing those things because I want to make my jiu-jitsu better. But again, I'm not in the gym. People aren't seeing my face. So again, the perception, which I probably shouldn't care, like you tell me, but the perception of those people is like, oh wow, he's hardly ever here. Why is he getting that? And then somebody kind of said something to me. So I reminded them like, hey, listen, I'm essentially, I should have had this 2 years ago.
But now imagine being a new gym owner, new gym owner, and new black belt, essentially.
My question in there, I'm sorry to get so long-winded, but my question there was, have you ever felt that way at any belt? Like, oh my God, like that anxiety of having a new belt?
On it, not so much, to be honest, because I feel like since purple belt, I didn't even think about my brown belt. When I had my white belt, I wanted my purple belt. When I was my purple belt, I wanted my black belt. So blue and brown belt were very odd for me because it was like, I shouldn't be at this belt. I shouldn't be at this belt. I know that I'm better than this belt and the people that are that I'm rolling with and training with at this belt. So it was never a skill thing. But what I did feel getting my black belt was that sense of responsibility that it's like, I can't say some of the things I want to say to most of these people, especially that are
soft,
commenting on my things and trolling me.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't tell this person that he's a pussy and should shut the fuck up. When I have kids.
He just said over here, you didn't hear him say it, but when you said the things that I want to tell him, and he goes, "You're soft."
Yeah, exactly. It's like I just can't say exactly what I want to say all the time, especially back when I was 19. And if someone had given me my black belt back then when I wanted it so bad, I was just way too immature, and I would have said whatever I wanted to say, and it just was what it was, and all of these things. But now at 25, I have enough years being around adults and things like that I've matured into what I would say is a good public perception of a black belt. Not someone who's just going to go off on Instagram and say nonsense, because I know that I have a responsibility to represent jiu-jitsu as a whole now, because when people see a black belt, I don't want them to see someone who is acting a fool on the gram and things like that.
Yeah.
Unless
of course,
it's on
time
purpose.
and place.
Yeah, time and place. Dude, I feel exactly the same way you do. My professor's 25 years old, and the dude is super composed. He's running a business. He got it. He bought the business off of the previous black belt that moved back home, and It's just like, that's the humility of the sport. It's like, if you conduct yourself in that manner, you will get the respect, because the proof is in the pudding. It's just that simple, man. It really is. Because I could talk, if I talk to you about my professor and like you're an older person or whatever, you would think this person's like, oh, he's been around and oh, this and that.
We both have professors that are younger than us.
Yeah.
I'm going on 50 and he's in his
I'm
40s,
only 5 years. I'm 5 years younger than Felipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're sometimes I forget.
It's just the humility of the sport.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause there's no lying. I didn't come up with this term, but there's no lying in jiu-jitsu. Like, there really isn't. There's no lying.
Yeah.
When you have in the actual jiu-jitsu,
when you get on that,
yeah.
When you get behind your phone, there's a little bit.
Yeah, we used to call telephone back then. We used to have to pick one up, and when it was wired into the wall, it was we call people telephone tough guys. Really? Same thing with like road rage. You're real tough in that 4,000-pound vehicle. When you step out, it's like right? Like those videos of the dogs like on opposite sides of the glass.
They open the door,
and they open the doors, and it's just like and rubbing up against each other.
Yeah, that's for real, man.
It is. But let's go back. Let's talk about like how you got your start in jiu-jitsu. I'm kind of curious. Did your parents put you into jiu-jitsu, and then you like, hey, you did this to me?
Yeah.
You gave me the career.
Yeah. So I was playing soccer from like 3 until 17 ish, something like that. I played until I was 18, but I started jiu-jitsu when I was 17. So when I started, I kind of got into it because I had a friend. His name's Christian Litzen, and Christian was really into MMA, and I like saw him winning fights, and his brother was winning fights. Like, these were MMA, and I was interested, and I wanted to do something other than soccer because I had done it for over a decade, and I was just kind of like, I had to try so hard to be good at soccer where I didn't have to so much with jiu-jitsu. It just kind of like, it came more naturally to me. So when I asked him, I was like, if I had to do one thing, because I wasn't really into getting punched in the face, I won't lie to you. I just lost you again.
Oh.
Solid choice,
every time
by the way.
Move, you're touching something. I saw you move, and it went out. No. Are you sure you're not hitting something over there? No. I swear to God.
We're back.
Okay. We should be okay.
There we go. Yep. All good. So, I just hit up Christian. I was like, if you had to choose one martial art of like the 5 that you train, because I knew he did like straight up MMA, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all of that. And I was like, if you had to choose one, what would you do? And he said jiu-jitsu. And that was kind of how it started.
Yeah.
And then,
did you love it? Were you instantly in love with jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. I mean, I just like, I didn't even want to do that last year of soccer, but it was like, I was only a blue belt when I was 18. So I was like, I didn't want to, I wanted to make sure that it was something that I was 100% passionate about, and me not just like throwing away 12 years of soccer, because I was looking at like playing on college teams. And this was right around the time where we were like, my travel and ODP team were starting to go to like college showcases. And I had a couple offers, but I ended up just like saying no, because like jiu-jitsu was really on my mind. I didn't even want to do soccer anymore.
Dang.
But yeah, I like fell in love instantly and started for example, I always tell this story, but when I was 19 in college, I was a purple belt, and I just remember Jake Litzen, Christian's brother. He was a purple belt at the time, and he was really one of the only really competitive guys in the area that was around my weight class. So I had a Spanish test that was worth like 25% of my grade, and I just ditched it so I could go and train with this guy one time. So that was like kind of the catalyst for me leaving college and wanting to do jiu-jitsu full time. Were you a good student, or were you not? Like, were you good? Did you do well in school? In high school, I was a really good student. I mean, I had like a 3.7 or 3.8 graduating, and I got into like a couple colleges, but I chose the one that kept me closest to my gym. Yeah. And it wasn't really just I didn't want to go to college. Like, I only went to appease my parents. And yeah. I feel like I would have been that if I didn't train. I definitely think I would have been that dad to be like, you got to go. No, get the education so you can do jiu-jitsu. But get the degree. I kind of feel. And you're not that, without jiu-jitsu, I would probably have said that. And you have no fear of, you did soccer for, what'd you say, 12 years, 13 years? Yeah.
All right, you have no fear at year 13, year 14 of jiu-jitsu that you're going to be like, eh.
Man, I hope not.
No way.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
it's a different love, right?
Yeah, because with soccer, it was something that I had just been doing. Like jiu-jitsu, I chose. And I chose it over a lot of other things. So don't get me wrong. I go through phases where I don't want to train as much. But if I didn't train jiu-jitsu for a week, I think I'd probably die. Where if I didn't train soccer for a week, I probably would have been like, thank God.
Oh, my knees feel better.
Yeah, I can walk. That's crazy.
Have you ever? We're gonna actually do. Somebody asked us to stitch a video that actually it just says, he's putting it out there to practitioners at higher belts. Have you ever wanted to quit? So we're gonna do a little stitch that we're gonna put on TikTok later. But have you ever wanted to quit? Was there ever a time either because of injury or just like, yeah, this isn't for me? Ever happened?
No.
I
don't think I've ever, like, it's never crossed my mind once to quit. Have I needed to stop because of injuries? Sure, but quitting, no.
Yeah, I've heard it said a lot of different ways. Like when somebody talks about it, would you ever quit? Or because of like you're always hurting yourself and this and that. And I'll be like, I'd rather be hurt, always hurt, and know how to still protect myself than never have 100%. Done this and be walking around not knowing this beautiful thing exists or not knowing that I don't know how to protect myself because I don't have this thing called jiu-jitsu.
Do you view it as do you do jiu-jitsu because of self-defense or just the love of the sport?
More the love of the sport for me. I do think there are good self-defense aspects, but I mean, if you've ever seen, if anyone on this has seen my jiu-jitsu, it's not very self-defense related. I just now learned takedowns and like decent self-defense as a brown belt. So yeah, I'm more berimbolo-y and
guard pullers unite.
So we interviewed Nick Salas and Danny.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we're gaming the system. Like our school is
gamifying it. Gamifying jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
Gaming would be like getting around the system.
Well, they are getting around the system, and they specifically focus on IBJJF, which is a point. It's literally like point karate, but for jiu-jitsu. Yeah, and I think that's great. I think that's what'll keep you. I think that's what keeps a lot of people in the game, because I think if you go in there and you're like the police officer or whatever, and you're just there because you know it's important for your job, it becomes more like a chore.
Well, I know that Nick and Danny are saying we're unapologetic and very honest when students come in. We're doing sport jiu-jitsu. So like he used an example, if like a woman, and I think it was an actual example, if a woman came in, she had recently been attacked, whatever the situation may be, I don't want to add more to it, but having an honest conversation. Hey, we're going to be like pulling guard and being on our backs today. I don't think this is what you're looking for. And losing a student where a lot of gyms would be like, no, this is come in. I guess like me, like our jiu-jitsu is, where I train is kind of in the middle, and it's becoming more of a competition school. So we are becoming more of that side as the kids come up and they start to
it's becoming a sport.
To train more. But it was refreshing to hear somebody say, I turned away a student because this isn't for them. Our jiu-jitsu isn't for them. Jiu-jitsu is for them, but they need to go to a school that's going to teach them more of like the old style Gracie jiu-jitsu. How do you get around when somebody's like bear hugging you from the back and grabbing a leg? And, their jiu-jitsu isn't for that woman.
Yeah, first of all, I love Nick and Danny. I think everything that they've done for the sport and just the kind of like DMV-esque area community, like I've had so many people ask me like if I'm going to get a match with one of them, which I would love to do sometime, by the way. They're awesome dudes, and they've been nothing but friendly and awesome to me. So as far as like their idea, as far like with movement art and what they're doing there, that's kind of exactly what I'm doing as well. We're not doing any striking at my gym. That's kind of something that's a little bit different than I've seen at other gyms in the area. They're MMA schools, but they do jiu-jitsu. We are just jiu-jitsu. We're not doing any striking whatsoever, and it is going to be sport jiu-jitsu. We will have specific classes for self-defense, but that's more like the beginner program. So the way that I want to have it structured is beginner program, which I'm going to ask everyone that comes in to do first, so that there is kind of a, oh, I lost you.
Oh. Here we go.
Sorry.
No worries. So there's going to be the beginner program. It's kind of like Jiu-Jitsu 100, right? So you learn what is guard, what is mount, what do I do when someone bear hugs me, these types of things. Then there will be a beginner class. So you know what guard is, you know what mount is. How do I do an armbar from here? How do I do X, Y, and Z from here? Then there will be an all levels class just for kind of like the casual people. Then there will be advanced classes, which are going to be 99% like you guys warm up with whatever you want to do, and then we just roll. And then there will be competition class, which is quite literally you are going to do a 7, 8, 9, 10-minute round. There will be a 5-minute break on the side, and then 7, 8, 9, 10-minute round, whatever it is, just like you would in a tournament.
That's very cool.
I have an observation.
I lost you again.
Oh man, what's going on?
See, I'm telling you, Bo, when you move, I see it.
Bro, you can't move.
I see.
You gotta be.
There's no
like,
way, because there's no connection to that.
It goes.
That's
off.
not how technology
I
works.
I feel like we're triggering it.
I have a.
There we go.
I have a question
Good.
from.
What's going on? Nobody move. It went out again.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Hold on.
That's interesting.
I just gotta click this.
That's so weird.
I know.
So from a student's perspective, every gym that I've gone to, we always run in the same direction, and I feel like that strengthens only one side of your body. I don't understand why they make you always circle, like either clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever it is in that
the
gym.
Same part of my back hurts on the inside.
Yeah,
you
it's like,
constantly go like that. That is funny.
I want to spread
lost
this. Oh man, he lost us again.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good.
I don't know why.
I don't know, like, have you ever thought about that? Or should we spread this out to all?
Is this a thing?
This is bothering me every day. Like, why do I always?
No, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, stop. Like, switch it up, man. Like, run that way. You know, not always this way. Why not this way?
I don't know. I think coaches might have bigger fish to fry.
If you're doing inside, then out. Yeah, but you're like, my abductors on my left are getting no work when I'm doing inside or outside.
Do you run backwards?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you run backwards?
I wish I was
lost
running,
you guys again.
Yeah.
I wish I was running forwards but backwards in the other direction.
Yeah.
I think it's, why would you ignore the other direction of running? There you go. There's my 50% of the body comment.
I don't know if that's our biggest worry in jiu-jitsu, but I definitely I see your point, and I've actually been like running and like, this leg hurts.
Please, sir, professor, just switch it up.
Can we please run to the other side?
The other way, you know, Mondays, do it like a custody thing. You know what I'm saying? Monday, Wednesdays, every other Saturday, like you go this way.
What do you think? Let's get back to the jiu-jitsu side of this.
That is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, kind of the warm-up. So that's the warm-ups. So what do you think about? I brought this up to. What do you think? What do you think about this adult Slayer kid that's ripping knees all over the place? Have you seen this kid?
He's
from 10th Planet.
No, I'm not him.
What's his real
it's
name?
Adult Slayer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me. I'm gonna pull him up.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because he's 16, but he's got a sweet set of cans.
He's sick.
That's messed up. He's a big kid.
He's a big kid.
He's a big kid. Adult Slayer.
So you haven't seen the video?
MF Goop. I don't know. It just says Adult Slayer 10th Planet.
Wasn't that the latest EBI?
I don't know what that means.
The Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Oh.
Just look up
Adult Slayer 10P.
Yeah. Hey man, if you want my 2 cents,
go ahead.
That was for $50,000.
Well, I mean, it's the thing is, there's other. Seeing like
he's a big dude.
There are other videos.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he's.
I like his hair.
He's been ripping some knees. He won that last EBI, right?
No, he did not.
Oh, he didn't win.
He lost it.
He lost it
to a fight sports guy.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's popping knees
You
all over
probably
the
just
place.
saw it.
Did you just see the last one?
Yeah. Hey man, this guy's sick. I mean, that's awesome.
That's the sport. That's the competition.
Yeah, if you look down the middle, like what, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows down, the guy who looks like he's in agony. Did you watch that video?
That's what put him on the map.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he's a blue belt.
That's what I just saw. I was like,
yeah.
So he was a blue belt right there, and then he lost the final against I forget what his name is, but he's definitely a big man. And they just threw his purple belt at him after he lost the match. So, like, the other guy's, like, celebrating the win, and his coach is like, hey! And they, like, chuck it. They, like, chuck the purple belt at him.
Classic 10th Planet style.
Now, that's not the only video. That's not the only knee. I can't put a count on it, but I mean, I kind of feel, I know that's competition, and okay, there's a lot of money on the line, but I feel like when I see him celebrating, I'm like old style, hey, are you all right? Like, stop and see if the guy's okay. Like, it's like rip the knee, walk off, and it's like, I know I just ripped the guy's knee, I don't give a fuck.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
Okay, so when George Masvidal KO'd Ben Askren in 5 seconds, did you go, that was very mean of him to do that and then walk around and fall around like he was dead?
Well, he's a dick for doing that. I think that's a different scenario.
How's that a different?
I think because you could get that heel hook and the guy will tap, and you know that you're putting this extra pressure and it's going to rip it.
He should have tapped.
He's
a black belt. He's a 4-stripe black belt.
Let's ask the black belt. What do you think?
Well, the other thing is, I mean, like, we like to say we don't want jiu-jitsu to become MMA-esque, right? Or a lot of people do. But the reality of it with that Ben Askren situation and Jorge, like, they were talking shit to each other for weeks.
Yeah.
Bro, if someone's talking shit to me and I rip their knee, it is what it is. You got shat on, buddy. Like, I'm not going to be asking if like, I don't know exactly what Ben said, but I mean, Jorge hated him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if that's the same situation in a jiu-jitsu match and I happen to pop someone's knee or I go a little bit too hard on an armbar or whatever it may be, then it is what it is, you know? Like, we're in a combat sport at the end of the day, but no, I'm not going to go around ripping heel hooks and stuff like that. But I
kind of get the sense that he's enjoying it. The ripping of the knee. I only know what I see. I didn't watch any of the actual matches. I'm only seeing what I saw, and it's almost always the same thing. It's just like, he knows he's going to rip it. I feel like, even though, when there's money on the line, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like,
you're getting the Paul Harris vibe.
Yeah, man, it's just like getting kneed in the face and passing out. I'm up in about 5 minutes later. Okay, we could talk about CTE and long-term damage. Okay, but this guy's not going to be able to walk around for 9 months, and he's going to now have to get surgery. I don't know. I feel like when I see this kid pop up and celebrate, it's just like, yeah, motherfuckers, I ripped another knee. What? Versus like, hey, Mr. Opponent, now we're done. Are you okay? So sorry. Like the martial arts way.
Yeah, if there wasn't
like
any
that,
bad blood, then that's not necessary. You know what I mean? Like, oh, by the way, I lost you. But like, yeah, see, I honestly, if it's just two competitors and there was no personal beef, I would definitely be like, yo, bro, are you okay? Either way, personally, I would do that, but I can see why someone, if they do have beef and they get into a match, then I could see why they would do that. But personally, I always check just in case.
I'm gonna try to leave the little bar on the screen so that I'll just catch it when it goes off. So you don't have to worry about saying anything. I'll leave it so it's obvious to me if it goes off just for the rest of the episode. And I'm sorry about that. It happened the last two. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know why it's happening, but we'll try to figure something out.
I'm just gonna say, probably.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, for clarity's sake, that I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm probably like the smallest teddy bear, because teddy bears are pretty big. But
this is the same guy that said, we talked about, like, hey, how do you treat like new guys when they come in? He's just like, smash them.
Did they sign the waiver?
They signed the waiver. I smashed the visiting blue belt.
You know what? Hey, you know what? Hey, dude, that thing that you said would happened to me yesterday. So we had two new guys yesterday, and then we were going into positional sparring from Ashi, and then or Ashi Garami. I don't want to start abbreviating shit. And like, while I was rolling with a guy who's normally there, he was like, hey, go with the new guy next. And I was like, all right. So it's like, you kind of got to know your role.
Yeah.
But I'm not mean, bro. I just kept.
Did you smash the guy, or did you?
No.
roll?
So obviously I had him in like Ashigurami, right? And then his goal was to just get up. And then for the white belts, if they break contact, then they're done. And literally all I kept doing is I just kept holding his ankle. And then my foot that was on his hip, I would just put on the ground, and the foot that was under his butt, I'd scoot it literally to his butt crack and just throw him over my head, and then just grab Ashi again. If his foot was there, I'd just take him down, and then I just make him keep doing it. And I kept an eye on the clock, and then like the last 30 seconds, I let him get up and pass my guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's honestly how I really am in real
life. We talk
life.
a lot about like visiting, and like I've had instances where people come to visit and they act like assholes. And I know, like, I feel like I'm a good visitor. If I visit another gym, I'm very respectful.
Right.
I usually let people ask me if they want to roll unless I know them. Like, I don't start going around, like, trying to grab the white and blue belts. I kind of usually wait for people. I'm not saying I'm some badass and I'm 240. Most guys, when they see me and they don't know me, they don't want to roll with me.
Right.
I don't look like I'm 50. They think I'm younger, and they're like, keep that fucking big dude away from me.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of that even in my own gym. I don't usually run around asking people to roll. I usually I wait for somebody that doesn't have a partner, or I'll make sure I grab a big guy.
He waits for the lights to turn on.
That. I make sure I do that. I make sure that I don't want to. I've been perceived as a bully because of my size. So I just kind of stopped doing it, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I mean, I think there's, and man, big guys have the worst situation of all. You guys just want to roll, you know? You guys just want to roll just like everyone else. And unfortunately, it's like, so you're just supposed to go easy on everyone. How is that for your like progression?
I pull a lot of guard ever since the knee anyway. It was where I started pulling more guard. So I pull more guard because of the knee. I just got comfortable with it. My coach has an awesome lockdown game, so I learned that game, and I just have fun with it. So now it may not be me putting my weight on you, but I'm usually catching most, you know, definitely below my rank. I'm catching those guys in some type of leg lock, or maybe I'm getting into half guard and playing around. And I'm good at that. I'm getting better every day at that. So rather than smash them, I'll play with them. But I give them a chance to move. I'm okay with like letting them move. I'm not going to ADCC. I'm probably not going to do the next IBJJF. I'm there for me, for the camaraderie. I'm there for the exercise. I love jiu-jitsu. Again, I went from doing it 6 days a week until I got bodies beat up now, and I can only go 2 or 3 days. I've been there. I've done it. I love it. I competed just a little bit, but I'm not there to like just beat up people. I feel like, again, at brown belt, I'm like, I like helping people. I like instructing them a little bit. I like giving them my take. I'm not an instructor in my gym, but I like doing that. So that's kind of where I am in my jiu-jitsu. And I mean, I've even considered talking to my coach, like, hey, you know, can I come and help with the kids class once in a while? Like, I'm available on this day. Because I think when I do teach, I feel like I'm more technical. My jiu-jitsu when I roll is more technical because I'm teaching people and go, oh shit, I forgot it. Oh, I got to do it right. Because I just taught somebody how to do it, told them how to do it right, but I do it wrong when I'm just, you know, in my jiu-jitsu. So I mean, I like those. I like that part of where I am in my jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, I have fun with it. I make no apologies. You know, I might talk about it here like, oh, I feel bad. I make no apologies. Your jiu-jitsu is your jiu-jitsu. Your journey is yours and mine is mine. I just happen to be going on 50, and I'm still out there. And I feel like I'll be the guy with the cane, like getting on the mat at 75, 80. I hope I'm that guy. I hope I die on the mat. I either hope I want to die in bed with my wife doing very naughty things, or I want to die on the mat. Those would be I tell her all the time, smother me with your boobs, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good way to die, you know. Or I'd love to die on the mat.
I wanna die like my grandfather in his sleep. Not like the other.
That would be peaceful.
Not like the other 4 people in the car.
Yeah. That's freaking great.
Oh, that's so
I've never heard that joke before.
That's a good one.
Hey, we're gonna do what we call the drill down.
The drill.
I have some just kind of like general,
drill down.
Like we ask almost all of our guests these questions, and these are probably the most commonly asked questions, so they wind up forming the last group of questions that we ask, and then I'll let you do some shout outs and or you know, shout out sponsors and friends, whatever you want to do. All right, cool. So we're gonna run down these. You can you know, expand on these, say whatever you like. So preference, gi or no gi?
Ooh. I've always trained both. So personally, right now, no gi, just because I'm working on my takedowns a lot more.
Okay.
But I'm typically known as a gi guy.
Yeah. So
it's okay to love them both.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I'm a huge leg locker. So like I think I only did like 10 competitive matches as a brown belt, but like 7 of them I finished by heel hook. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm better at no-gi, but I prefer the gi because it's more difficult for me, and I feel like I have so much more to work on. So
you said a couple of times about like you're just getting good at takedowns, or you did it at brown belt. What was it about your jiu-jitsu? Was it always like more of a sport jiu-jitsu, pull guard, start from the ground?
Exactly. Yeah, I always pulled guard, and then what I was finding, well, one, I mean, Keenan and all of the better people at Legion were just working a lot of takedowns because we were training with J-Flow. Do you guys know who J-Flow is?
I don't.
So he's the Olympic judo coach. He's like a D1 wrestler. He's one of the.
I'm sorry. Does he coach some UFC guys as well?
So Ronda Rousey, Patty, like a lot of the bigger Dominic Cruz, like a lot of really, really high level people. And I have never had my ass kicked by anyone. Yeah. Like he kicks my ass. This guy's 145 or something like that. And he just so smoothly, like gi, no gi, doesn't matter. He's taking me down. He's like, take my back, whatever he wants to do.
I sent his Instagram to our booking manager a while back, and I said, hey, check this guy out. Keep an eye on him. And then
he's crazy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about now because I saw the Keenan videos where they're just like kind of going back and forth. Yeah, but they're also going like back and forth, like on the takedowns. Yeah. And it's just like Keenan's legs are like up in the air like this. Yep. But he's really good at rolling out of it.
Dude, J-Flow, it feels like, and at brown belt and winning at brown belt, I felt like I was just completely lost as like a brand new blue belt or like a white belt. It's very humbling rolling with him. Yeah. And he's the nicest dude in the world. Like nicest guy in the world, just beats your ass and like moves on, you know.
So now at black belt, are you a takedown or a guard puller?
Training takedown, in competition guard pull.
Why?
Because I like my A game is my guard, but it's mostly I pull to sweep and come up on top and pass. I don't really submit from the bottom unless it's a leg lock. Like I just want to be proficient at everything, especially at black belt. So that's also why I got into takedowns, because I don't want to be the black belt that everyone knows, like, okay, he's sick at jiu-jitsu, but he has 0 takedowns. I at least want to like know something.
Okay. It is a badge.
All right. Next question is music during rolling. Yes or no?
Definitely yes for me personally. And my students hate my music taste, but I'm really big into like hip hop, like Lil Uzi and Nav and like people of that like era. Yeah. And they hate it. They usually like rock music and things like that, which I am not the biggest fan of. Yeah. So, but I mean, whatever they want.
What do you think of Benny the Butcher?
I like Benny.
He's pretty good, right? Maxo Cream.
Oh yeah.
All right. I know.
I like.
Yeah, you're speaking my language. That's more what I would listen to. My students, not so much.
You named 4 hip hop artists. I'm a more
old man.
School. You named 4 artists, and I have no clue who any of them are. I think maybe I heard Lil Uzi. It's almost like you just made up two rappers. He's just like, little Uzi and
Takeoff
and Jack the Ripper, died. You know?
Yeah.
You hear about Takeoff?
Oh man, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that's tragic.
It's super suspect too, because like I hear that's a really, really nice part of Houston. So to get killed playing dice there,
like dice, and it was like inside of a bowling alley.
No, it was like a you know where like a building connects another building, like one of those walkway type things. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know, a breezeway.
They don't call it a breezeway in the city.
All I know is that like
alley,
that just
an alley.
Yeah, it wasn't an alley though. It was like extremely well lit.
Area between 2 buildings, you would call it an alley,
I guess.
Yeah.
So it seems like it was some sort of like setup hit type situation.
Oh, really? They've gone.
That's
that
what
far?
I'm saying.
I was questioning that.
Yeah. There's I live in the internet. Between the hours of 11 o'clock at night and 2 in the morning, and there's a lot of suspicion about about like his latest type of stuff that he was working on.
Yeah.
And then like the beefs that he had. So, but it's
man.
also
he was putting out like a diss track or something.
It was some weird like that. I don't know.
No.
There's convincing arguments.
I like music on period. I think it's funny when like a slow song somehow comes into the mix at the gym.
Yeah.
I can't vibe with that.
I think it's funny, and it's if I know it too, if it's really bad and uncomfortable, and then I also know it, I'll sing it to my training partner.
Dude.
I may be in a bad. It's not always like I'm in an advantageous position.
You can
I know regardless of the
roll to a
position,
ballad.
I'll start singing.
You're like gurgling from side control.
It's always great if you can get to like somebody's back and then you're singing to them. It's super uncomfortable for the guy.
Here's my like really bad. They play whatever at my gym. They play everything, pretty much eclectic type. But like sometimes hip hop comes on and it'll be a song that I like. What I feel most conflicted about, because I'll sing like while I'm rolling because I don't really give a shit. And when the N word, comes out, like you gotta self censor.
Yeah, I can get away with it. I
wasn't born in America. I wasn't born in America, and I grew up in Miami.
You got to own it. You got to say it like this is where I grew up. With
I'm good, bro.
My shade of brown, I can get away with it.
You're in
I'll
Miami,
say it
so.
It depends on who I'm with.
Nah, I just don't.
They
got beat out of me. So I joined the army at 18. And so my last name's Lecarica, right? And nobody could pronounce it. So they called me Rico because I'm from Miami. So the whole Rico Suave thing, even though I think that guy's from LA, but whatever. Let's not get caught up in the details. But I grew up in a neighborhood where like you just said it all the time. It was just casual talking or whatever. And boy, did that get beat out of me in North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Like,
I grew up in
beat
the
out of me.
suburbs, so I didn't say it, but I could, like, once I went away to school and like the people that I was around changed a little bit. I thought I could use it. I'll definitely use it if I'm in the car by myself listening to hip hop.
I'm saying that's my own music.
I don't censor.
That's my only. But listening to that type of music, you're listening. You're listening to Outkast.
Constantly.
You're listening to, like even old school hip hop, and you're just like, oh, I can't sing half of Spodioti, Dopalicious Angel, like.
Back when I could actually go, I don't even know what any of that means. Back when I would go to the clubs when I was younger, I would love when that would come up, and then I would just look at like a white friend that I was
all the
with,
white people, and they're just like
waiting for them to say it, and look. Dude. And most people, if they're smart, they just don't mouth that word, don't say that word, and then just continue.
Yeah,
catch it with the lyrics if they're smart.
Just play "Jesus Walks" by Kanye West and turn the volume down every time the chorus.
All right, let's get to the next question.
Yeah, Dong Lover.
Donald Glover, he's like Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Dong Lover.
So he did one of the funniest stand-ups ever. And he had a bit about how like going to like a Kanye concert or whatever, and it was in like Arkansas or something like that. So it's him and a bunch of white people, and they're just like, it's so funny. Love Childish Gambino. Talk about a triple
threat. Oh, yeah, like have you heard him sing? Donald Glover can. I mean, obviously he can act.
The show.
Great stand up. He can rap. He can sing. He's amazing.
He could produce. The show Atlanta is ridiculous.
He's like
he's like new school Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
which that says a lot.
When I heard him sing, I saw a video of him singing.
His raps are fun.
I forget the name of the song, but he sang this slow song. It's a woman that's married to Babyface. I know it's her song, and he sang the song in like on a UK show, so he's like in a small studio and he's singing it and he's hitting these really high notes, and I'm like, what I did,
bro.
I'm just getting used to him, being Childish Gambino. Forget about now singing this like slow song. Anyway, all right. So so do you watch jiu-jitsu when you're not on the mat? Are you somebody who's watching like every event? If you're not at an event, are you watching it? Consumer
all the time
of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like I'm borderline obsessed with crypto and NFTs, so like that's what I'm typically doing.
Oh, hey.
But
have you met Miguel?
Outside of that, hey, let's talk. That's like honestly, I do crypto and NFT stuff a lot more than I do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
studying outside of like actually train. Like I train every day, but like when I'm outside of that, I'm doing like ask my fiance, like I'm doing crypto and NFT stuff most of the time.
Ask my future ex-wife.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right before they were standing here talking, Bo and Miguel, they're talking about crypto, and I'm like, guys, we gotta like, come on, like it's like a minute. We have a minute. And he sat down. They just finished it. That was the last thing we talked about before we got you on. So this is the guy
he
right
said
here.
ex-wife, so I just know he was a Luna investor, Like,
no. I'm just joking. I'm happily married. I'm happily married. It's just that she's like, just stop. No, it's every night. Like it's every night. She's just like, stop. But I've gotten her to the point now where she understands all my hardware wallets that have biometrics. She has her thumbprint and my thumbprint just in case I die. I have a buddy who knows everything. So that way, if I die, he knows to come over, and then and then we could liquidate that way. Like it's not financial advice. Which
do your own research.
Do your own research. We gonna make it. But yeah,
He's a serious dude. Like I was when I played around for a little bit, and I'd get my tips from him. Basically, like, what do you think I should buy?
DCA.
And it was never the stuff that was
not
like,
financial advice.
Not financial advice, but stay away from anything that's an animal.
Anything I brought him, he was just like, stay away from that. Go long term.
Top signal.
Yeah.
What is your ultimate goal? We maybe touched on this before, but what is your ultimate goal in the world of jiu-jitsu?
Ooh, I mean, if I can have. So I don't want to just have one school. My idea. So I have an investor as well as a business partner. So eventually, what I would like to do is build out this school enough so that I can essentially give it to him. He's a purple belt right now, but he's like a purple belt, and so he probably won't see this, but if he does, like I want to give him his brown belt, but he's literally like, I don't want my brown belt yet. But he's one of those guys that it's like, it's getting to the point of like, okay, you're looking like a sandy bag right now, bro. So, so eventually what I would like to do is give him the school and be able to like keep my stake in it, of course, but like travel the world, do all these seminars and different opportunities like that, film a bunch of instructional
open affiliates. I mean, is that
open affiliates?
Open
yeah.
affiliates?
And that's also like part of the reason why I didn't go with Legion East Coast. Like I want it to be a Nexus brand so that I want to teach cops. I want to teach military personnel.
It's important.
Like I have a lot of friends that are pretty like involved in those types of areas. So I'd like to eventually graduate into that. But opening affiliates, like all in the US and elsewhere.
And I think it's important when you're doing an affiliate system is, and I know not every affiliation does this, is if you start the affiliation and people, are following your lead or you have some type of curriculum, you should be traveling around to those gyms and reinforcing the jiu-jitsu that's being taught. Not everybody does that. It's you don't see, like, it's got to be often. You don't always see. I've been, I've trained at a gym that was an affiliate, and I think we saw the owner of that affiliate maybe once or twice, and he's this an hour away. So, and I know that involves a lot of traveling the world. I get it. But I should actually say he traveled so much to his affiliates. Let me give him a break. He travels so much to his affiliates around the world that
everybody got one or two a year.
We didn't see him that often, and we were an hour away.
You could have seen him all you wanted, just drive an hour south.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I think the thing there is like I want to think big, but not so big that it overtakes my life. Like I still want to be able to have a bunch of like pull as far as like the grand jiu-jitsu scheme of things. Like I want to have 1 million followers one day on not just Instagram, but TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all of these different platforms. So I want to bring jiu-jitsu mainstream. Like that's my overarching goal. And I feel that like I'm in tune enough with like the younger and the older crowd that I can like do these things that like connect jiu-jitsu to pop culture. But I don't think a lot of people are thinking that way. I think a lot of people are just like, I just want to have a school that I can pay the bills and things like that. I'm thinking like way past that. Like I don't want to just
25, man. You're thinking
so,
big. That's a good thing.
I just like that
you got plenty of time to do it.
You're spreading the love, man. I think that's the important. Like to all the people who haven't found jiu-jitsu yet, I know there's going to be a ton that don't like it, but we say it all the time. It's a black or white. It's one of the only black or white things ever in the history of the universe.
You can go throw the ball around with your dad or your friends, or throw the football around. Like, you don't just casually do jiu-jitsu.
You don't.
It's like, hey, you want to roll?
You don't.
It's Thanksgiving. We're about to eat dinner.
Yeah.
Let's go for a roll with somebody that's never done it. That doesn't happen.
It encapsulates your entire life.
Yeah.
Like
does.
once you start, I mean, like it's your friends do jiu-jitsu, everyone does jiu-jitsu.
I've been doing this for 3 years. And look what I'm doing.
Exactly.
This is bad.
Like,
it
takes over in the best way
encapsulates
possible. And I
my
mean,
life.
the community, like that's what also, like, I'm big into the community of jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
And that's kind of what got me into the NFT side of things and things like that. Like, I'm very involved in like a lot of different NFT communities and things like that. And I feel, so this is also something that I kind of want to do. I want to integrate Web3 into my jiu-jitsu career,
Let's
like
go.
my businesses. So for example, I want to accept, not Bitcoin, that's a dead coin, but you know what I mean?
It's a
like,
store of value. It's a store of value.
I want to be able to accept like different types of payments. Like, for example, I want to like release an NFT on Solana. I want to like do a whole bunch of different things that a lot of people haven't done before or haven't done correctly, because I know some people have tried to do like jiu-jitsu NFTs and things like that.
Ken Peters
before.
actually has a pretty good one with his dead zombies.
Exactly.
And so I have a couple of his dead zombies, and he's doing it on the Polygon side of Ethereum.
Okay.
With like Polygon wrapped Ethereum. And when I got my NFT, there was a special feature, and I emailed whatever the link, and he told me what the special feature was of my NFT, and it was like anytime I go up there, I could just train at his gym or something like that. So it's like, dude, the Web3 thing is such a great idea, because you could transfer value over something, even your membership. It's like, hey, if you stay
That's
here,
what I wanted to do.
Yeah, your membership could be an NFT, and then you could really rep your school. And like you said, you have a brand. That's like a really, really smart idea.
Do we need to say that this is not financial advice thing again?
It's not. I mean, if anything, we shouldn't be saying it so somebody else doesn't do it. But I mean, there's this jiu-jitsu is so niche that, but I mean, honestly, like the actual, like I could just come in and like I have his gym's NFT, and his affiliate gyms might be like affiliated but have a different name, but your NFT is good there, and they all come back to his database in terms of like, oh, I see you trained here, I see you trained there. Oh, how about you get the triple crown? If you train at these 3 spots, like you get like a bonus on your NFT, and then plus he's also being able to keep track of your progression because you're showing up to classes.
Are these new ideas, or are these things that you thought of? Are you like, oh,
no,
shit,
these are fantastic. This is like exactly what I kind of have envisioned. And another thing is, like, imagine a mint where it's like, okay, you're minting this NFT, it's good for a month of training or a year of training, whatever it may be. And what it does is, if you get lucky in this mint, you pay, let's say, 2.5 Solana, whatever it is, or like $100 for a month. If you get like this super rare NFT, you get training for life. You know what I mean? But it's like, for a successful mint, like, some of these people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you also have to like come through with the utility of that NFT. So
utility
it's like
is king.
Like the things that he was just kind of outlining are like all of these different things that we can attach to it. And I think a lot of people just don't understand NFTs. Like, they're just like, oh, I took a picture of your JPEG, like now it's mine. It's like, people still are so like, they don't understand what's really going on.
That's the beginning of it. It's honestly going to turn into like house deeds will become NFTs, and then like everything on the block, like your license, your birth certificate, your blood type, your like, it'll get to the point where it's like, if they're like, oh crap, he's passed out on the side of the road and his cell phone's in his pocket, they could take out his cell phone and just like do like, if your new ID is like something on your phone that's and they could have access to it, and they know, oh, he's O positive. Oh, he's 56 years old. He's previously had a heart attack. Like, all that stuff could be in the blockchain, which you could view it as like, oh, that's a lot of information that's out there or whatnot. But you could also use it for things like how he's saying, or like, let's say he starts throwing tournaments and it's like, oh, you're a crown champion, you get this thing, and then you could monetize that as well. Like, you can't carry a UFC belt everywhere you go, but you're the only one with that championship. You know, like I don't foresee. I mean, not foresee. I think I'm using the wrong word, but I don't think it's too far fetched for the 2035 UFC lightweight champion of the world to have a UFC lightweight champion of the world NFT belt.
Okay.
Yeah, crypto.com's already doing things like that.
They are.
Like it's amazing, like these things that exist, and like people that aren't in the Web3 space, they have literally no idea of like these kinds of things that are going on. But this is part of like, also like, I don't just want to bring jiu-jitsu to like the forefront of like normies or whatever you want to, like people that don't do jiu-jitsu. I also want to do the same thing with Web3 if I can use my platform for like good. Like those would be my two overarching big goals, man. Like get people hit to Web3 and get people hit to jiu-jitsu.
That's awesome, man. You want to hit him with the last question?
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
I wash my jiu-jitsu belt.
Very nice.
Don't be a cochino,
Team wash your belt. How often?
Yeah.
After every session or once in a while?
No, like every session. My fiance is very like, she would, yeah.
So you're like me, right? Like you fold it, she washes it.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I have to. But if it's dirty and when I come home from training, I have to throw it in the wash immediately.
And she'll do the rest?
Huh?
And she does the rest?
No. No, she'll put it in the dryer.
Okay.
And then the pile in my room, then I got to fold that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's usually waiting for me.
I only have to fold my clothes when my wife is mad at me.
Really?
But I take care of my...
My wife is always mad at me?
Which is all the time.
So I'm always
folding the clothes.
Which, I do take care of my own jiu-jitsu gear. She doesn't have to touch it. I don't make her touch it. Which, by the way, congratulations, recently engaged, correct?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're already wearing a ring? Is that a promise ring?
So in her culture, apparently... They wear a ring up until engagement, so she got me this guy.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
And I think she's just staking her claim, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I mean,
what culture? Are we allowed to? Can we ask what culture?
Yeah. So she's from New Zealand and Australia.
Okay.
And I don't know. I haven't even checked into whether that's like correct or not.
Two very separate areas.
Yeah. So she grew up from like until like 6 or 7 years old in Australia, and then moved to New Zealand until she was like 16.
We'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
North or south?
That's actually a very good question. I'm not 100% sure. I still haven't met her family in person.
Dude,
so it's like of course we have a relationship, but it's like we haven't met in person just because of like visas and things like that. We're still
well, New Zealand was very, very tight with the quarantine stuff. Extremely tight. They like canceled all the flights and everything. But I'm sure you'll make your way over there and go visit the Hobbit place.
Yeah.
Well, again, congratulations. Let's give you a second if you want to shout out any of your sponsors, say hello to anybody. This is your time.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a blast.
Likewise.
So shout out Progress. They're my most recent sponsor, and they've been super, super good to me. I really, really appreciate all the support that they've been throwing me. We're actually just a little alpha drop. Like we're working on some merch and gis and no-gi sets for Nexus. We're also like talking about other things that I don't know if it's 100% yet.
Okay.
So then also Celsius, the energy drink, it was like my favorite energy drink for years. And then I just kind of shot my shot and that worked out. So they've been super supportive. They actually just sent me a care package that I need to open.
Yummy.
They're like, especially for such a big brand, I'm very surprised at how how much they communicate with me. So that's been really, really cool. And then Strong Arm Sports, they're my first sponsor ever. I've been with them since Blue Belt. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done as well.
Very cool. Listen, when you, you could do this now, but definitely when you open the gym, make sure you tag us in some stuff.
Yeah, man.
You want to spread anything, we'll post it on our stories.
I got buddies in the area, man. I'll make my way up there too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go.
Yeah, please come through.
I'll probably talk to Andrew tomorrow, but if you see Andrew, let him know you're on the podcast. I didn't tell him. I didn't know that there was any association, so I didn't know that that you would know him. That just came up today. But when you see him, be like, hey, I just spoke to Milton. I just did the podcast. He'll know.
Sure.
He'll know. But listen, hey, don't hang up. But we're gonna say goodbye for now. But we're gonna come take some pictures by the screen that you're on in the studio here. So we're gonna come take some pictures for promo. But we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, brother.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys.
Thanks. Okay, hang on.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at TheBJJBox. Neutral Zone is combat family owned, so they know you need to keep yourself and your equipment clean. They created Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays for just that purpose. Neutral Zone products are formulated to reduce the risk of bacterial and fungal infections. Whatever's making you sweat, weight training, rolling on the mats, yard work, or just working around the house, Neutral Zone Clean wipes and sprays can make you feel and smell refreshed. Use code JJD to get 15% off your online order at NeutralZoneClean.com. While you're there, sign up for their newsletter to receive the latest info and updates on product launches like their new shower gel and soap bar coming soon. Are you Neutral Zone Clean? Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
All right, man. Very cool.
That was cool.
I think we could have gone on.
Yeah, we could have started another podcast.
Yes, we could have.
Yeah.
So, I gotta say it.
What?
So we cut between the end of that podcast, right? Took our pictures,
movie magic,
and then how long did you talk to them about crypto?
I lost track. Time flies when you're having fun.
I mean, it felt like a half hour at least. Maybe 15, 20 minutes. Let's say 15, 20 minutes. So you got definitely reach out. You two crypto heads. Is that what you call it? What do you call yourselves?
You know what was really fun? You know
crypto
what we were laughing about when he said, "Let me drop some alpha on you." I know that went straight over your head.
Like let me drop some alpha on you.
So alpha is like a crypto term.
Yeah.
Of just like, let me give you some good advice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, well, now you know.
That went over my head along with Little Uzi. And
Lil Uzi.
He made up those
He did
artists.
not. He did not. That's the sad part. Those are real names.
Little Uzi.
There is.
That one I heard of. The other one I couldn't even. I can't even say because I don't even remember.
Yeah.
They are.
I had never heard of it.
I guarantee you they're legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I know them, and I'm not into that at all.
I was listening to like Jesse's Girl on the way down. I hate the current hip hop so much.
Some of it's good.
That I don't listen to hip hop anymore.
You know what? Are you on Spotify?
It's
not all mumble.
I know. I hate the mumble rapping. I just go back to.
You're on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
I don't use Spotify. I use Apple.
Okay.
I do.
But do you have Spotify?
I am.
I have Spotify. Wow. Thank you, Milt. I have Apple Music, and I really only. I have Spotify. We're on Spotify, and I use it to watch.
I was gonna make I was going to make you a playlist.
No, I don't even want it.
So just like to introduce you.
Yeah, if it sounds like any of the crap that I hear,
it's not that. I'm saying like the stuff that's worth
I'm going to give it a shot.
The cool thing is about Spotify is you can send me your playlist.
We can't see when we do this and we talk over each other. I watched the last episode and then it just sounds like mumble. It sounds like mumble rapping. Oh, maybe that's the
it's a trigger.
We did a lot of that in the last episode. The Burger Moscow episode, Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of us talking over each other.
Damn.
I am interrupter number one. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm the worst of the three of us.
You throw your hand out though.
He does.
Well, because because if I'm steering the ship a little bit and then three people start talking, it's like, well, let me ask the question.
You got to do that.
Let me just tell you something. You did a great job today. I swear on my life. I know you said the other day, like, you always told me I did a good job and I did better. You did an awesome job at getting us back on top and getting it back to the guest.
Yep.
You did you did it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like,
but you do something really funny.
Yeah.
Though.
I'm usually doing that.
He does something really funny though. The guest is saying something, and he'll just like throw out a word. You know. And I'm like trying to flip to him.
Those are the nuggets.
This is the mic. We're getting our sound here, but he can only hear us from that mic.
Yeah.
So a lot of, like, you were just talking to him off camera, like, you didn't have to speak into the mic at all. It's there.
I think I still was. Here. I was over here like...
Yeah. No, even when I told you, I walked in 15 minutes later and you're still talking into this mic. No, you just had to talk to the computer. You could have like moved over here and talked to him on the computer.
For somebody who knows a little bit about technology.
But me?
No, me. I feel like an idiot.
But even when the thing is, when you're saying some of those low things, remember, he's not hearing us from here.
They're not for him.
He's always saying no, but sometimes even when you're talking low, or again when we start like talking over each other,
rap when we're little Uziing it up.
I did watch. Let me say this: I did watch. I watched another podcast today from. I'm not going to mention the podcast, and I recognize a lot of things about us. Again, the talking over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look at these idiots talking over each other. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's us. This is us.
Yeah.
I think that's a natural. Do you think we're growing?
The guy started at an older age, and it was just like, oh, this guy sounds like me. You know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of similarities between the two.
There's rooms to get better. What do you think where are we in the podcast? What belt are we in podcast?
So, okay, let me tell you a quick story. So this is going to answer that question, I think.
Okay, let's go.
So my wife got a new phone last night.
Got it. Congratulations.
I went to T-Mobile with her. Mm-hmm. Actually dropped her off, went and got a coffee. I'm sitting in the car. She's taking forever. Mm-hmm. It was out. You know how it goes. It's hours. They got to move her information and her pictures over and all that BS.
She got a 13.
Blah. She went to a Google Pixel. She's trying to Google Pixel, yeah. So she went from a Android, a Samsung to.
I'm just joking. I like them all.
So anyway, I go in. First of all, like I'm waiting forever. She's sitting down. The guy's transferring the data, and I look, and I'm like, it says done. I'm like, hey, bro, can we, get this,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So clicks done, and now we're like 5 minutes, and then we're gone. But I've been sitting there. I don't know how long that.
How long
no one's
has
looked
it
at
been
that.
done?
That it says that it's been done. Anyway, I don't know because but I'm just walking around the store a little bit, and I'm looking at the new iPhone 14. And what do? I'm just like, oh,
is it 14 or 13?
I think it's 14 max.
14.
It's 14.
Wow, we're there now, huh?
Yeah, I would have remembered 13. 13's our wedding day and her birthday. So
and the 13.
So, yeah, it's 14. So I go over to it and I go to the podcast app and I start typing in jiu-jitsu. And before I even get done with jitsu, it
populates.
It shows you It shows you, and like 6 or 7 down, it goes jiu-jitsu dummies. So like I didn't even have to write in the full word of jiu-jitsu, and it was already showing me jiu-jitsu dummies.
Okay.
And I stopped and I go, honey, look. I said, look, this is how good we're doing.
Algorithm.
It's actually showing us right now. This is their. I'm saying it's their phone, the sample.
Yeah.
The phone. And I did it, and then I was just like,
"That's algorithm."
I was like, hee. And then I put the podcast on. I lowered it.
Yeah.
And I put the podcast on, and I left it on that phone.
Good. You're like me when I was like in middle school.
I'm an idiot.
Do you remember the compact stores? Like at Compact USA?
No.
Yeah,
you remember they used to come in the cow boxes?
Oh, the computer compact?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I used to go to the store
that
would sell the computers, and I would change all of the backgrounds To like,
yeah.
You remember when like your name would just bounce around? So I would change it all to like say my name.
Like did the compact logo like move around the screen?
It was, but you could change. You could go to Windows and you go to preferences and then you go to background settings, and then I would just type in my name and then have my name go like.
So anyways, about popularity, that's say
purple belt?
I think that's a good indication.
Well,
if the podcast had a belt,
yeah, what would it be?
It's I think maybe we're purple with a couple stripes.
Purple with a couple stripes.
I don't know. I'd say we're already brown belt, man.
I try to be
One stripe,
trying to be a little humble.
Brown belt.
Trying to be a little humble. No. I mean, we got a long way to go, but I do know. Look at our numbers compared to
you have to like honestly like we do this because we love it, but we're like those type of people that just want to make things better. So it's like, and the reason I like your constructive criticism, and you listened to mine today, which I really appreciated.
Which was
about like not saying goodbye so early.
Oh yeah.
And
I thought about it when I was saying goodbye. I'm like, what did he tell me not to do?
Don't say goodbye.
Yeah.
Don't ever say goodbye. And it's like I just think we want to get better at it, and we want to create quality product for people.
I think it's like we want to do this for a long time, and if this could be. If this is the 9 to 5, this was the 9 to 5.
Like underwear that have a sack for each ball.
There you go. Specific.
Right?
Why would you do that? They're like in the.
I only have
why
one.
Would you split them up?
They want to be jammed together all day long.
They have been.
You got to have some really saggy balls for them to
ask your balls.
Oh, you might have. You're old. You might.
I haven't. I don't even know how to spell sex anymore.
When you. I'm not even going down this road.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, everybody, don't forget, send us your receipts if you buy anything from any of our sponsors. Send us a receipt. I still get them, a couple a week. Send us your proof of purchase. We'll add you to the $250 giveaway that we're going to be doing once the pre-order is over for the Flow and Roll rash guard and shorts.
Which you could pre-order.
So you could pre-order them.
I saw it.
Don't send me that proof of purchase. Send me a proof of purchase from something else, from one of our sponsors, from Flow and Roll, from anywhere. Because, part of that is to get the rash guard and the shorts.
Yeah.
So, do we put them in if they do the pre-order? I guess, right? Yeah, fuck it, right? We can put them in if they do. If you order anything from any of our sponsors, including our I don't know. I was just thinking like you're getting into the pre-order the rash guard contest by buying the rash guard.
But you'd still win $250 worth of other jiu-jitsu swag.
You hear me go, fuck it. Just anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that buys anything from any of our sponsors, BJJ Box, Neutral Zone CBD, Flow and Roll. If you even do anything with Feito, let us know.
If you get a security just in front of your security camera.
BB Digital Marketing, I'll throw you in there too.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so check us out on Instagram at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. JJD_DJJ69.
BADWERKS.
And I'm Uncle Milty BJJ.
Check us out.
That's about it.
Yeah, man. Peace.
Love.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Click the bell.
Smash that like
We said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, say it again.
Thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.